Good afternoon, fam. Hope all is well. I got a special report today. So, there is another update as usual on the Nolan Wells case. Tons of them coming through. And this one I found quite interesting. Apparently, Officer Tatum, the brother I showed you, who's been doing all the podcast interviews with all the so-called friends, tried to get Benjamin Crump on this podcast. Take a look.
You can't be serious. So Brandon Tatum offered Benjamin Crump an opportunity to go on his show and for them to have an open dialogue about the Nolan Wells case. Ben Crump decided that he was going to decline taking up on that offer. And if we're being honest, I'm not gonna disagree with him. I think what he's doing is right for several reasons. Well, let's start with number one. Number one, from the beginning, Tatum has always dragged, always dogged Benjamin Crump on social media. So to expect this man now, because you're now offering him an opportunity to come onto your platform and have an open dialogue, I would assume that's something you should have done in the beginning, not bash him and drag him and bash the family and drag them. And now you're offering their attorney an opportunity to come on your platform and have an open conversation about this case. What was even more a shock to me is reading the comments and people saying that he's not going to come on the show because he's not getting paid. So they were, putting it out there that Benjamin Crump is not going to come on to his platform because he's not getting paid for it. But if you think about it and you really use your common sense, you would realize that Tatum has dragged and bashed. He has tried to annihilate the reputation of Benjamin Crump on his platform. So to expect this man to come and sit on your platform, and in the email they're like, yeah, he has this many followers across all these platforms. Okay, like my name speaks for itself. Like Tatum's name may speak for itself, Benjamin Crump's name speaks for itself. I feel like it's a little too late for that. That should have been offered before anything. You should have offered the parents to come onto your platform before dragging them. You should have offered them the opportunity to come onto your platform and have a conversation, but that's not what happened. You sat there and you dogged the family, you dogged the attorney. He represents the family that Tatum constantly accuses of being liars. He calls them liars. He calls them grifters. And I'm here representing this family. How does that look to them if I come and sit down with you? I know y'all don't like Crump and I don't care, but if I was Crump, I would be looking at this man like you got me messed all the way up. And being honest, even if it was paying, I still wouldn't have went on there. Because of the way you've done me in the media, like man to man, like, no, I have nothing to say to you. You could keep your platform. I don't need it. At the end of the day, men should have respect towards each other. And you know what? Tatum has showed that man no type of respect, nothing but disrespect, being honest. I just feel like the nerve of him. I would like to hear this dispatch call be explained.
Y'all go ahead and give a round of applause to this sister. Bravo. Well said. Salute to this sister. I actually follow her on TikTok. She calls herself It's the Shark. She has really good content on there. She does a lot of like political commentary and stuff. But man, she hit the nail right on the head, because how you gonna ask, of all people, to sit down and interview with on your podcast, Ben Crump, to sit down with you, and you've been talking nothing but smack about this man. You don't like us. You're one of us, but you don't like us. Then you turn around and play devil's advocate by interviewing the so-called friends, quote unquote, of Nolan Wells that we know are possible suspects. We know are possibly suspect. Allegedly. Possibly suspects. But yeah, he got some nerve, everlasting nerve, to sit up here and try to get this man on his podcast. First of all, I can tell you right now, Ben Crump does not get paid for any of these interviews that he does. As you can see, he's a public figure. He's been on national news all the time. He's sat down with ABC News. He sat down with CNN, Good Morning America. And I'm pretty sure nobody paid him for none of those interviews. I'm positive he's not getting paid for any of these interviews. I just thought it was funny how people said when she mentioned in the comments that people believe the only reason why Crump declined Tatum's interview request is because he wasn't getting paid and he's on YouTube, which is not true. But yeah, no, Ben Crump got sense. He's not going to sit down with somebody that clearly is a rage baiter and constantly bashes his own people. Like, he's not going to go for it. See, what I like about Crump, and a lot of people don't like him because they think that he's just out for money, him and Sharpton, which is not true. Crump is a civil rights activist. He's not going to just sit on anybody's podcast. If they don't align with civil rights, activism, justice, or some type of content related to what he does, he's not going to sit down with you. He's just not. He's not going to waste time with you. That's just him. That's like saying you want to invite Al Sharpton to the Klan podcast. Like, why would you do that? That's pretty much what Tatum is. He's Klan. He's really Klan. Undercover Klan, allegedly. I'm just saying, it's just an example of what this man's podcast literally is. He's like another Candace Owens. Y'all know Candace Owens. It's a prime example. You know, same thing. Not for us, against our people, bashes our people constantly. I don't know why. But you know what they both have in common? Y'all gonna get mad at me when I say this. They both are married to the opposite color. They have white spouses. And you wonder why. They act the way they act on them podcasts, interviews. Y'all wonder why. And I feel like when people, do these type of podcast shows and they talk really bad about their people, and then you see that they're not with their own kind, it makes you look at them sideways. I'm not going to lie, it do. Like I said, I ain't got nothing against white people. Don't come for me. But all I'm saying is that you got them certain breeds of black people who are called the token Negroes. Basically, they're tokens. And they just don't like themselves. When I see people like Tatum, for example, Tatum don't like himself. He don't like his own color for a reason. I'm pretty sure it's a good reason. And I feel like when people self-hate, they rub it off on the next person and they think it's okay. That's the sad part. I never understood the logic of people who self-hate, bash their own people, and don't even blink an eye to apologize or anything for what they've said. I don't understand it. I just don't. Another thing about Tatum, I'm about to drop a bombshell on y'all later. Tatum just recently did an interview with Nancy Grace, the wrong person. Nancy set his ass up. Oh man, soon as I get that clip, I'll drop it later. Don't worry. Nancy was not playing with his ass. She grilled him to the T and left no crumbs. Like when she grilled him, she asked the difficult questions that nobody has asked that man. Like, she was really digging into them interviews that he did with them boys on that podcast that was on the boat with Nolan Wells and everything. She was talking about the cell phone towers, the reception on the island. Like, she was getting in it. She was getting busy with them questions. And boy, was he sweating bullets. You could just tell he was just sitting up on that podcast lying with Nancy Grace. The last person you want to get on a podcast interview with is Nancy Grace. Because Nancy Grace is going to read you for filth. She's going to tell it like it is, whether you like it or not. And she's going to get to the bottom of the truth. She really is. I guarantee you, within a couple of months or so, Nancy's going to break this case wide open. She really is, because she's not going to let this go. And she even said she wasn't going to let this go, which I really appreciate. Like, we really got some allies on our side besides her and Secret Service Sam. Yeah, they be on it like white on rice. I done seen Nancy Grace drop at least 10 clips within the last 24 to 48 hours. Yeah, she's not playing about this case of Nolan Wells. She's not. And I appreciate her for that, for looking out for the community, because there are not many like Nancy Grace that will just happily come out of retirement to hop on a podcast to dig for the truth. I really appreciate her for that. I really do. But yeah, Nancy's not playing with y'all. She's not playing. And supposedly, word on the street is that Tatum is saying that those so-called friends on the boat supposedly all had lie detector tests except for one of them. I'm not sure which one didn't take the lie detector test, but he's saying allegedly they all passed, which I believe is a lie. I think it's all lies. I don't believe one thing that man says. You cannot convince me otherwise that what he's saying is the truth. Everything he says is far from the truth. I'm going to tell you that right now. All the stories are conflicting. Everybody just go ahead and give it up. The jig is up. Go ahead, turn yourselves in, because we all know that everybody's guilty. Everybody that was on that island, on that boat, is guilty. Yeah, it's a lot of chaos and events unfolding as we get down this rabbit hole of solving this case. And now they also cleaned up the audio, which I will drop later as well. And someone was nice enough to go to an actual studio to extract all the background noise in the original audio from the CETO. The CETO audio is from the emergency call that those white boys did when they was on the boats, talking about they were sinking and they needed help and they needed somebody to tow their boat. Well, it caught a lot of background talk, and people were allegedly shouting Nolan's name. Wake up! Is he unalive? Blah blah blah. It's a lot. And see, what I don't understand and I don't appreciate about mainstream media is the propaganda that they put out here. See, mainstream is dirty. They only have released half of the audio the very first time it came out. Them, like TMZ, ABC News, CNN, they all dirty. They didn't even release the background noise when the audio first started. Before he said the boat was sinking, you could hear people screaming in the background, clear as day. And I said, I be damned. So when I heard all that, and then they started saying people's names too, like one of the comments said, damn it, Bart. And I said, who's Bart? So then I did some research in Google and I found out Bart is one of the other so-called friends, but wasn't a real friend at all. But yeah, it's so much. Y'all don't even know the half of it that's coming out. It's so crazy. All this new information that people are constantly dropping every hour of the hour on Instagram and places like TikTok. It is insane. It's hard to keep up. I can't even keep up with half the information they put out because I see so many videos every day. But yeah, Tatum just needs to give it up. He needs to just stop. I don't understand why, again, he tried to get Crump on his podcast. I knew that wasn't going to happen regardless, because I'm just like, you already interviewed the enemy. Why would he even come and support your podcast anyway? He knows what kind of rhetoric you put on your podcast. So why would he come in the first place? Like, you don't support Black people. You don't support civil rights. Like, why would he even bother wasting his time? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now, use your brain. But anyway, y'all let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments. And I'm curious and I want to know, do y'all believe Tatum is truly trying to find the truth and help out our people regarding the Nolan Wells case? Or do y'all think he's against us? In my opinion, I think he's low-key against us in a way of finding a defense for them white boys. But at the same token, he might be setting them up and they not realizing that he's playing chess and not checkers. And in the other one, end result, he's trying to find out who did what. I could be wrong, but right now, what it's looking like, he's trying to build a defense case for them white boys. That's what it feels like. He's trying to give them a voice and all this extra shit. And I just feel like, nah, they guilty. It don't matter how you put it. It don't matter what narrative you spin on us. We all know that they guilty, allegedly guilty. But, and one more thing before I go. I also found out that Warren, the one that sat down on that podcast with Tatum, the white boy that was talking and broke his silence, his father apparently is offering a $50,000 reward for anyone who knows information on Nolan Wells. Save the bullshit. Just pump your brakes. Save it for somebody else. Because we know what his daddy is doing. He's trying to cover and act like he want to help now all of a sudden. First of all, we already have our own people giving reward money. Sharpton and Tyler Perry already said they're giving out $100,000. On top of the NFL player Terrell Owens said he giving out $25,000 to add to the pot. There's already an over $125,000 reward from our people. So why the hell would we need your reward all of a sudden? See, this is what bothers me, is the fact that they know that they are in the wrong, and yet they still try to come forward and act like they want to help us. You don't want to help us, because if you wanted to help us, you would have been said something. You wouldn't have had none of them boys lawyer up. But now you want to try to play Captain Save-A-Ho by offering $50,000 reward. Man, get out of here with that jazz. I'm done. I'm so done.